One of the things that really excites me about this channel is how excited you guys get for the vegetable recipes I've been making. So we're gonna do another one today. This time we're tackling kale. It's that vegetable that everybody wants to eat or doesn't want to eat, has no idea what to do with it to make it interesting. So I'm actually gonna show you a pretty simple recipe, something you can kind of adjust as much as you want, that will have you eating more kale. This one's gonna be a quick one, and I can tell you this is gonna be part of a two-part series. We're actually gonna use this kale as a side dish for a pork chop we're making with some seasoning that I purchased from Chef Rick Orlando that I featured a few episodes back, a different seasoning this time. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell to get notified when new videos are posted. I'm gonna drop that video at a surprise time, so you're gonna wanna see that video. Make sure you like this video, comment down below with future suggestions for recipes, and let's jump right into how we make this kale. I really don't wanna downplay how simple this is. You need just a few ingredients. I have my kale. I bought baby kale because it's triple washed and also a good manageable size. You can do this with any kind of kale. You can get lacinato kale, you can get Tuscan kale, which I think is the same thing, I don't know. Any kale works. Actually, any kind of dark greens is gonna work with this technique. You need some chicken stock. I like apple cider vinegar, but you could switch up the vinegar. You could use champagne vinegar, even balsamic vinegar kind of works in this recipe. I got some onion and some garlic that I cut up, and then salt, pepper, olive oil. I have about a tablespoon of olive oil heating in my pot here. You want a pot that's big enough to fit the leaves, but not like overkill, and no peeking back here. We're gonna throw in our onion and garlic. You don't wanna get too much color on this at this point, but you want it nice and good. Move that around. Got a little pepper and salt there. I like to put that in on every layer. Let these soften up, not pick up too much color. Now watch how quickly this comes together. Here's my kale. We're gonna go straight in. I'm actually gonna turn the heat down quite a lot. So right now we're at a medium low. So kale, spread it out nice and good here. Now watch, you see how it's basically filling the pan here? That's gonna wilt down to almost nothing. Pinch of salt. Give that a good mix. I want it such that the kale is kind of a little bit warm when I do the next step. And that next step is apple cider vinegar, about a tablespoon. You hear it kind of get a little angry at you. Now from there, go in with your chicken stock, or stock like we like to say. About half a cup. Slam the lid on that. Now that's gonna cook for about 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, you'll notice most of the liquid goes away. At that point, basically you're gonna wanna just pull it off the heat. It's basically done at this point. You can see how this technique is kind of customizable. At this point, you could have added like red chili flakes. You could have switched up the vinegar. You could do this with water. You don't need chicken stock. You could add like chili paste. I used to do this with gochujang. So really, you could build this to your taste. I just pulled the cover off and you can see most of the liquid is gone. That's exactly what you want. The kale kind of wilted down to almost nothing. You want basically the stock to absorb all the way into this. And we're almost done here. And you see that whole bunch of kale basically made enough for like 1 or 2 portions. That's the beauty of it, is that you can kind of cook the kale down to like nothing. And you're sneaking in these, you know, dark green veggies that have a lot of vitamins that are gonna be good for you. You see, we got a little bit of stock kind of still cooking there, but that's basically all it needs to cook. I'm gonna kill the heat. We're right off the heat here. Now, the whole purpose of adding that vinegar is to kind of give you this like sour kind of like touch to it. So, got a little bit of the onion. I use like a Vidalia onion for some sweetness. And you got your kale, some garlic, you could smell it. It smells amazing in here. So good. Perfect. The very little bit of vinegar that we added just enough of a kind of like sweet and sour little like twang to this. And you know, the kale kind of absorbs into the onions. It's a very good side dish. Again, make sure you're subscribed. A few episodes from now, I'll have that video up where we're using this on the side with the dish I'm making with Rick Orlando seasoning. You're not gonna wanna miss that. I have more vegetable recipes. I'll leave those right here. And I got this recipe that I make green peas. It is a viral recipe for me. You're gonna wanna check that out. That's up here. You can check all that out.